Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 28th of January. So before we get cracking on the data itself and the technicals, let's have a quick look at the what's coming out today, the calendar, the risk events. Well, there's not a lot going on here today. I'm just checking that I have got everything switched on here. It's so light on news. I was expecting something more than this, but there you go. It's a sleepy old Friday. However, well, Monday is the last day of the month. How we might be seeing some price action as we see some corrections going on within fund managers' portfolios. Might be starting today, so just watch out for that. If there's some high volatility, but at the moment it seems like there's plenty of dollar buying, that's for sure. And on that note, let's just look. There's the treasuries. The bonds are being sold at the moment by the looks of things. The yields, treasury yields, are increasing, pushing up quite strongly there. Okay, so not a lot, as I say, in terms of events here. The personal consumption expenditure coming out there at 130. That may create a bit of volatility, but the Fed have already said they're going to do something to ease the current prices. Good morning, Jane and Al. Okay, so there we are. The euro. Let's have a look at the euro on the dailies. Let's look at the technicals of these markets. Well, the euro had a shock. I say a shocker, but it's to be expected, I guess. A solid down day yesterday. Monthly wise, it's run through its S2, which is quite sort of rare, but the month's nearly finished. There's nothing really. I say it's nothing really. There is support at 111.10 area, and now that might slow things up a little bit. We'll see what comes of that, but either way, it's certainly a downward market here. I'm just going back to the weeklies here. I keep on bringing this up and showing it, and you can see there's still scope for further downside. I'm just looking at 1095. We've got a 618 that might just stall it into these, but I'm looking for other horizontal support, and it's broken the near-term support caused by these highs over here. So yeah, it's currently falling. We might from a daily perspective, at some point here, we've had so many red days here, down days, we might catch a little bit of a bounce, but at the moment I'm not looking to buy, I'm looking to sell, and on any retracements, any decent retracements, daily pivots above that could be come into play at some stage, but the way it's run already doesn't look particularly great. Okay, that's the euro. The pound. So the pound also breaking through. I mentioned the 50. The monthly pivot was key, but that's gone yesterday. Well and truly gone. We've tested the underside of that pivot now on the 50 already. It's come back to test that sort of area zone there this morning, and still looking soft. I mean, you just look at the momentum behind these moves, and it's quite strong. I mentioned yesterday in terms of there's quite a few traders coming on the other side of these markets now as they're buying, particularly the euro, and it's just a massive risk. If things are falling off like this, yes, you're going to be right eventually, but how many times you're going to be wrong? There was I think it's 74, 75. I did a video on our system yesterday on YouTube. It's worth watching. Is it time to buy the euro? And you can just see the difference between the lows when I was looking at it then, and it's chunked down even further this morning, and that's for sure going to be taking traders out of their position. So on all these markets, just be careful. At the moment, the pound's looking soft. It pulled up through its pivot there, and really of the markets I look at, maybe post 8 o'clock I'll be shorting this. Just wait until it settles for me. Dollar yen. Dollar yen's continued to the upside, no retracements there. It's certainly going where it should go effectively. We've seen a stronger dollar. We're also seeing a better outlook on the dollar side of things than we are seeing in the Japanese side of things, or the US side is better than the Japanese side fundamentally, and this is what should be happening. So there's nothing outside or strange or whatever about these moves, but they are pushing up quite strongly. So there's no hope of me trying to get into a long on that at the moment, but Well, who knows? Might come back for a retrace at some stage. It is the dodgy one to trade at times because when you get risk off, the money can flow into it as well. Aussie dollar, again, it's near. Oh, I'm just looking. It's done more than its equal footing. Now I was looking at this, the size of this range. We can pop it onto here, and then look at the breakout there, and it's done a 1-to-1 on the break, and that's what traders often are looking for, is that sort of 1-to-1. However, looking at the bigger picture here, there's still further downside potential with the Aussie dollar. We'll see what changes next week. We've got some more central banks reporting, and if they're going to get any more sort of hawkish themselves. But for now, Aussies really, as I say, just falling there. Canadian dollar. The Canadians had the chance earlier this week of making changes. They didn't, and we're seeing the softer result of that softer movement as a sort of a swing going on here on the dailies, and certainly there you go, you can see it clearer here, and it's certainly for me at the moment, it looks like it's up for the upside. I think at some point we could see this turning round once things normalize a little bit. Maybe we'll see a bit more of a leveling with the US dollar, and maybe then a retrace. But for now, I'm not second guessing what the technicals are showing me. Yes, it has double topped up this here. It might just be stalling for now. It might be a turnaround, but I'm not looking to get on the other side of I'm not looking to sell the dollar basically on any of these currencies at the moment. Let's have a look at commodities. Good morning, Maverick. Commodity wise then, well, gold, ouch. Gold does what it does really well when it goes the other way, and it does it very quickly, and last couple of days we've seen that really happening. Solid sell-off days. It's still in this bigger trend line here, and I'm just going to pull this up. I don't know why I had it. I had it off this original low here. I was just looking to why I had it. It's still really in that. It hasn't made a lower low than the previous key low on the 7th of January there, so it's still holding up there. Could see a bounce, but once again, I wouldn't be looking to buy this. It's telling me on the shorter time frames it's being sold, and I don't want to get in the way of this. It just at the moment, as I say, looks like this further downside. Now we'll be wrong at some stage and it will bounce, but the point of least resistance is to the downside. Oil. Now oil's been having a much nicer time of things, and well, yes, they made a new near-term high pitched up there. Didn't really it didn't hold on to its gains at all. It did put a doji in, but looking like it's coiling up, ready to go again. And it could well do so. Let's just have a look at the shorter time frames. Yeah, just looking like at some point a breaker maybe of 87.50 or maybe a little bit higher, 60. There could see it pushing up at least towards yesterday's highs, but certainly at this stage it still looks quite bullish. Right, as the commodities, let's have a quick look at the other markets here. So I'm going to bring in Bitcoin first, as it's on the list here. Still sitting there quite consolidated. In fact, it's pretty good how it's consolidated here for any. I mean, I still think there might be some more downside, but if it continues to consolidate and then starts picking up from the consolidation, well, perhaps it's based out a bottom. But often when you get consolidation around the lows, it just means it's got more downside to go. It's too weak to pull itself up in simple terms, and you're just seeing it, Ethereum looking weaker and looking like it wants to roll a bit quicker, as is Ripple. So it's the same old story through these cryptos at the moment. It looks like they've got maybe another catalyst will push it down, another step there, but who knows? We're coming into the weekend. We could just flicking through these to see if anything's looking bright at all. No, everything's got a sort of bearish tinge to it, or hook swing to it. So all these markets, yes, through the weekend we might see a bit more of a bounce or something, but I think that'll soon be sold into. So that's the crypto world. Moving into the indices, where are we today? Let's have a look. Start off with the CSI 300 Hong Kong index. No surprises there, is there? I keep on saying it's bearish, and it's bearish, and it's continuing. The point of least resistance again is to the downside at the moment. Solid down days. Nikkei, bit of a bounce there on the Nikkei, a bit more positive. Maybe we're going to see something. The pound, we're still at 7.55. So this is yesterday, was recovering quite well. Pound, sorry, I keep calling it the pound. The FTSE, the FTSE is recovering somewhat there. Let's have a look elsewhere. DAX really looking a bit iffy this morning. DAX futures here as well. CAC is pulling up there. Who knows? We could see something more of a bounce. The key thing I'm looking though is look across into the US markets here, and they're still struggling around some lows here. We're seeing that on the E-minis, the Nasdaq, the Dow Jones, all sort of struggling. Now, as I said, again, they might grind out a bottom, as with the Bitcoin, etc. However, all this consolidation around the low to me just points to further downside. Nifty's picked up this morning. Nifty 50 pushed up a little bit, and seeing, I mean, it's running closer to what we're seeing with the likes of, I was going to say the DAX for a minute, but it's the CAC that was pushing up. There we go. So maybe it's a little bit more of a bounce, but however, I remain quite bearish on these markets as they're sitting. It may be just that we're seeing a bit of a bounce off these, but a bit more of a bounce. But either way, I'm sitting there quite bearish at the moment. Right, that's it for me. I'm going to wish you a great day. Won't the FTSE follow the other markets down? It could do, John, for sure. It's outperforming because of you've got oil companies, etc., sitting in there, and they're doing pretty well, and there's certain companies that are just sort of benefiting from what's going on. So it's seeing the other side of it. It's got a higher weighting of that type of energy companies, etc., that may be affecting it compared to some of the others. Right. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to wish you a great day, great weekend, and I'll catch you on Monday. Take care. Bye for now.